Top of the morning to you. Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning to everybody listening to this dial 32 FM 94.9. It's another Tuesday morning. Today, the 15th day in the month of June 2021. We say welcome to the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 94.9. My name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI.
Good morning to you and welcome to another time on your morning tonic. I am OLUTAYO OGUNADE.
I have with me the Punch newspaper, Vanguard, Daily Post, and Independent newspaper. Taking headlines from Punch newspaper, Buhari regime borrows $2.02 billion from China in 6 years. Outrage as federal government demolishes 12 Lagos churches on alleged illegal plots. Naira tumbles by 51.95% despite CBN's defense measures. Umahi defends Buhari's appointments, says Southeast governors, youths meet Saturday. Squan confirms TB Joshua's burial. And Okoje attacks Buhari regime, says anarchy looms in Nigeria. 2 more suspects arrested over Osun female teenager killed by ritualists. Buhari fails whenever he has chance to shine. Okay, that's a report in the Punch newspaper. From the Metro side, father arrested for defiling daughter in Lagos. 5 arrested over murder of land agents in Lagos as well. Police abducted Ekiti farmers' family disagree over 2 million naira ransom payment. From the business side, telecoms services face disruption as workers threaten strike. Naira tumbles by 51.95% despite CBN's defense measures. I took that earlier. From the policy side, Cross River converts commissioner, governor aides resignation to sacking. APC, PDP bicker over performance in Adamawa State. Judicial, parliamentary autonomy top agenda as NGF meets Wednesday. And lastly from here, only National Assembly APC members developing Edo North. That's coming from Oshiomole.
And from Daily Trust, how my successor will emerge, Ganduje. How my successor will emerge, Ganduje. Lamentation in Kwara as bag of onion hits 22,000 naira. Insecurity, Bakassi boys return in Southeast. Insecurity, Bakassi boys return in Southeast. Foundation targets 4,000 for eye treatment in Taraba. Cervical cancer, FLAC urges more access to HPV vaccines. NMA decries high level of commercial blood donation in Nigeria. How to prevent mother-child HIV transmission, NACA. Ndume to military with 895 billion naira extra budget. No more excuses. Ndume to military with 895 billion naira extra budget. No more excuses. Zaria is under siege. Emir raises alarm. Asari Dokubo, what Fani Kaude said when Nnamdi Kanu sent him to me. Kola Biola, this isn't the democracy my dad died for. Let's go see another paper.
Daily Post, restructuring. Nigeria should have 6 vice presidents. Governor Mahi. Zamfara under siege as bandits, elites promoting crimes. Bakari. Fair as cultists, armed robbers, others take advantage of security breakdown. Nigerians need leaders that can unite the country. Oshibajo. Buni reacts as fire raises down Fika Emir Palace. Fani Kayode reacts as Nigerian army begs Boko Haram a swap for reconciliation. Southeast leaders, federal government criticized for alleged exclusion of agitators in security meeting. Earthmen, IPOB, Oduduwa Volunteer Force form alliance, train security personnel. Help your husbands to fight, Aisha Buhari charges military officers' wives. Democracy Day speech, how Buhari disappointed many Nigerians, Garba Shehu. World Blood Donor Day, NMA accuses Taraba government of abandoning NBTSC. Also, IBB pledges support for new Niger NUJ Exco. Why I need Buhari's ban of Twitter, Ned Nwoko. JAMB gives update on candidates with incomplete registration. Nigeria's 1999 constitution, a fraud. Military imposition, Pastor Bakari. And one more headline from here. Cholera death toll hits 37 in Bauchi State. Those are headlines from Daily Post.
From Premium Times, I have this one here. Crisis deepens in Nigerian athletics as 2 factional leaders emerge. 2 years after Gbejabiamila-led House of Representatives yet to live up to promises. Authorities exonerate ex-lawmaker Ned Nwoko of land-grabbing allegation. Fact check, Buhari's claim on lifting 10.5 million people out of poverty misleading. Blood donor day, severe consequences as Nigeria gets 27% of annual blood need. Still from Premium Times, APC will go with you in 2023. PDP tells Buhari, Zaria under siege of bandits, Emma. Insecurity, over 7,000 soldiers maimed by insurgents, army. Ganduje under fire for stepping on Kwankwanso's picture on Democracy Day. 2 years after, Senate reviews implementation of National Anti-Corruption Strategy. And job scam, how fly-by-night firms fleece unemployed graduates, lure them into marketing.
All right, I'll take headlines from Vanguard newspaper. This one here says, pass National Blood Service Commission bill to save lives. NMA charges National Assembly and the presidency. Why there is trouble in Southeast Ngige. PDP receives Ayadi's former aides who refused to join APC. Nigerians in South Africa pledge to boost image of fatherland abroad. Power generation falls 23% to 3,172 megawatts. 2021 UTME JAM highlights fate of candidates with incomplete registration. Bandits abduct over 10 people in Kaduna community. Organized labor declares indefinite strike in Nasarawa over minimum wage and promotion. Nigeria needs unifying proactive leaders. Oshibajo. 2 dead as Hoodlums hijack masquerade festival in Ibadan. One more headline from here. Senator Olujimi hosts Southwest PDP leaders, says Nigeria needs rescue from evil APC.
We'll go on a short break. We'll be back.
32 FM
94.9.
32 FM
94.9.
Every day is another chance to do it. Every day is another chance to do it all over again.
There's something about it. From the feeling of peace and serenity.
Bros. Why so deep? Home is anywhere the Airtel Home Broadband is. That's all.
Enjoy more data than before on Airtel Home Broadband. Get a router for 25,000 naira with up to 160 gigabyte and a MiFi for 12,000 naira with up to 55 gigabyte. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hey, why did you put it in the pot like that? You're supposed to break it first.
Says who? This is how I cook my pasta. Besides, it's golden penny pasta. It's non-sticky, so it doesn't matter.
But I want to cook it with meatballs mixed with pepper sauce and cheese.
Go ahead and enjoy your golden penny pasta just the way you want it. Golden penny pasta is made with durum wheat, which contains protein, and it's non-sticky, so you can cook, serve, and eat just the way you want it. With golden penny pasta, your way is best.
Looking beautiful day and night with one click. AI selfie with the pictures on flick. Full high definition with a large screen. Infinix. No time. Top speed with the Helio G95. Super speed where they make you satisfied. Walk out, play, everything is okay. Infinix Note 10 over 10. Hey yo, this is a real deal. Infinix Note 10. Hey yo, this is a real deal. Infinix Note 10 beauty meets strength.
Enjoy super fast processor with the new Infinix Note 10 with Helio G95 speed, especially for better gaming experience, and a 6.95-inch FHD screen for wider viewing pleasures. Infinix Note 10 meets beauty with strength.
Set to fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Set to fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. No darling with Santa Fresh. Santa Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Give me my Kellogg's, world's number one cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's number one. Give me my Kellogg's, world's number one cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's number one. tèmi ó dẹ̀ rọrùn fún mi láti máa ṣorin fún yín ṣùgbọ́n ṣé mo kó tó tún rọrùn fún mi jù láti ṣe àsopọ̀ NIN mi àti ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo mi mo lè mú ẹ̀rọ ìpè mi kí n sì tẹ *109*NIN# tàbí kí n pe 109 lórí ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo mi kí n sì tẹ̀lé àwọn ìfilọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ tí kò bá wù mí láti pè mo lè tẹ àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ NIN mi sí 109 mo lè kàn sórí glowworld.com/NIN pẹ̀lú íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ayárabíàṣá mi tí kò bá sún mi tí ò rẹ̀ mí mo lè yà ní ẹ̀ka Glo World tó súnmọ́ mi jù tó bá dẹ̀ ti gbàgbé NIN rẹ tẹ *346# láti rí gbà padà ẹlòmíì lè béèrè wípé tí n bá ní NIN kọ́ kò burú Glo jẹ́ igi lẹ́yìn ọgbà ẹ nítorí o lè yan fandawọ èyíkéyìí Glo World tó súnmọ́ ẹ jù kó sì ṣe forúkọsílẹ̀ ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé má jẹ́ kán já ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo rẹ o nítorí àwọn àǹfààní tó pọ̀ sí ìpè àti dátà látọwọ́ Glo àti so NIN rẹ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ka Glo rẹ ó rọrùn gidi kò léwu ọ̀fẹ́ ni kò sì ní wàhálà rárá.
Glo Unlimited.
32 FM
94.9.
Good morning to you. Welcome back. It's 32 FM 94.9. Welcome back from the commercial break. It's 15 minutes past 6 from our studio here. We are live on YouTube, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. To join the conversation, you can drop your comment there, your question, or any particular headline that catches your fancy this morning. Austin Udumu joins us on the program. It's good to have you join us, Austin Udumu.
Thank you for having me.
All right. My name is OLUTAYO, OGUNADE. Good morning, dear listener.
And my name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI. All right, we go straight to the papers. There's one headline that is the screaming headline in Daily Trust, and it says, on insecurity, Bakassi boys return in the southeast. Years after their disbandment, the Bakassi boys, a vigilante group in the southeast, have returned to some parts of Oka, Anambra State capital. They were seen in 2 vans singing and warning criminals. However, it could not be confirmed who invited the dreaded vigilante group. When contacted, the PPRO in the state said he was not aware of the development in his own state.
Yes, I think it's quite sad that we are beginning to have a repeat of the old memories, you know. We know what Bakassi boys represent sometimes ago in the country. After a long while that we are done with that, all of a sudden we just got the reports that they are fully back. Of course, the state PPR may not be aware as at the time of filing that report, but the truth of the matter is that we have to be very careful. Could it be as a result of the activity of the so-called unknown gunmen, or what could have happened to actually warrant the coming back of this Bakassi boy? Would this also add to the already worsened security situation in that particular region of the country? Don't also forget they are starting their operation again from Anambra, and later this year Anambra is going to have a governorship election. So all of this can result into various security lapses and security threats. So let security operatives, agencies that are responsible for the maintenance of law and order, look at this critically. However, on the other side, we need to bring the security situation in that state to a level where people can do their business on a daily basis, not a situation where security and military formations are being attacked on a daily basis, and even government agencies, buildings that belongs to government, are being raised almost on a daily basis in that particular axis of the country. So in the days ahead, I am sure the relevant stakeholders, especially the police, will have to release a statement and see how to deal with this situation, because my fear majorly is that this probably could add to the security tension we are having in that particular axis of the country. So all hands must be on deck, especially the leaders of thought in that region. We have to come together, put politics aside, and save the region. I'm beginning to sense a kind of a replay of the destruction, one-time destruction of lives and property that happened in the northeastern part of the country, replaying itself in the southeastern part of the country. So leaders in that region, political leaders, traditional leaders, must come together to address this situation frontally. It is no longer the business of elected officials now. Let us put partisan politics aside and address the issue. So it's a pity, like I said earlier, that the Bakassi boys are here. You know, we had the ESN who served like the operational arm of the IPOB. We thought that with the coming on board of the ESN, security will improve better in that particular axis. But what we have found out is that a kind of assault on security formations in the country, and when that is allowed to continue unchecked, it will make the people more vulnerable to further attack in the future. Because when security formation are attacked, the primary purpose is not able to kill these officials, is to loot their weaponry, is to take over their armory, take over this weapon, and in turn unleash this weapon on the Nigerian state. So we must check this seriously.
Yeah, though security in the southeast of Nigeria has worsened as a result of the constant attacks by hoodlums tagged as unknown gunmen on security officials and their facilities, there is a new twist in the insecurity plaguing Anambra State. This is from Daily Post. The attacks on security facilities have practically caused a breakdown in conventional policing, with policemen now realizing their vulnerability to attacks, thereby retreating from carrying out their duties the normal way they used to do. So we can already see the effect of the insecurity on the security operatives themselves.
Yes, it's quite challenging, especially at this time, to be a police officer in the eastern part of the country. Because when you see your colleague being murdered in cold blood without any tangible reason, not even in line of duty, whether they are engaged in gun battle or what have you, their formations are being overrun from time to time. Nobody will want to wear uniform. Nobody will want to identify. And at the end of the day, it will lead to breakdown of law and order. You know, some of the police is gradually coming back to their normal work, if you understand what I mean, after the EndSARS saga that we experienced towards the end of last year. Now we are having this again. And by the time all of this continue to happen, people will find it very difficult to return back to work, especially for police officers. They would desert their duty post. That is the truth of the matter, because nobody wants to die. And once this continue to happen, it will make not only even the police, but even the citizen. It will make them vulnerable to further attack. So this must be checked at all costs. Any criminal anywhere in the country, whether unknown gunmen, under whatever any guise, that has risen against the state, that has risen against the people, with wanton destruction of lives and property, must be brought to justice. That is my summary.
All right, let's move on. Those guys popularized, the slogan Odeshi.
Yes, those days.
Well, let's see. Let's move on. Lamentation in Kwara as a bag of onion hits 22,000 naira. That's from Daily Trust. The recent decision by onion producers in the northern part of the country to cut supply to the entire south has led to a sharp rise in the price of the commodity in Kwara State. To this end, many households in Kwara and other consumers may have to spend more to buy the commodity, one of the most commonly consumed vegetables in the state.
Yes, I think this idea of some people just waking up one day and say we are going to cut supply shouldn't even happen under a democratic system of government. And it is worse to the extent that those in authority are even keeping quiet. This is not the first time this will happen. Sometimes this year too, it has also happened. We never got any statement, even from the leadership of the country, that if we call ourselves one Nigeria, a united Nigeria, and most often time our leaders will come out to say that our unity is not negotiable, and we get to a level where some people want to take some other people, hold them to ransom, take them for granted and say, this is what we are producing, will not supply to you. It's just like when you say we are going to cut oil supply from the southern part of the country to the north. We are getting to a level where the center can no longer hold. Let the federal government restructure this country so that each region will have to be on their own and develop at their own pace. That is the way I look at it. Because if you look at onions now in northern part of the country and some other perishable item, the price, you need to go to the market to sample the price of these things. Another thing this is telling us is that we also have to look inward. You know, now that they are cutting supply, food supply, they are seeing Kwara as part of the south. If it is for political advantage, they will see a place like Kwara as their own, where they want to exercise maximum force in terms of political say. So all of this we have to stop. The truth of the matter is that it looks as if we are not one Nigeria. So let the federal government look at this issue. They cited, the onions producer cited insecurity. Insecurity is not only for them and their members, it's for every Nigerian. The federal government has failed to secure the country. So everybody is having a bite from the insecurity all around the country.
But we can grow onions here, right?
Yes. Let us also look inward to see some of the things.
At what point did we become so dependent entirely on the north for food?
Especially for food, we have to look at it. We have our own produce little by little, but it looks as if because of the land issue, arable land, favorable land, that some of these things can be grown. We don't even value our own. How do we even cultivate our own, for example? So let us begin to look inward. It happened the other time. Now it's repeating itself again. Within 4 months or 5 months, it's happening about twice. Before the end of this year, only God knows what eventually will happen. So let every individual continue to look in this dimension, that will get to a level where you have to produce what you consume. That is the best way to go. Not a region or a section of the country waking up one day and say, oh, we are going to cut supply. To make, not also forget these people too, they are going to suffer because these are perishable items. Over time, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, they will continue to feel the impact too. So let government step on board. It is the government that has failed the people, not the certain citizen that has failed the onions producer. It is the federal government that has failed to secure the country. That is why we are having some of these crises and situations we have now. The other time it happened, I think during that time too, there was scarcity of onions around this side. Somebody developed a myth at that time that, oh, instead of buying onions from the market, just go to Sabo and buy suya. When you buy suya, tell them to put plenty onions. And when you get to
even at that point, some of them were ordering the onions. Some of them
that is just
give
by,
you
by the side.
half of what they will give you normally.
Yes, so that is just by the way. But let us rise to the occasion and learn to produce what we will consume. Enough of this. One day you just wake up and say you are going to hold the country to ransom, and those who are supposed to speak, they will keep quiet because their body language solidarize with these people. It's uncalled for. This is a secular state.
Let's talk about borrowings. Buhari regime borrows $2.02 billion from China in 6 years. That's from Punch newspaper. The Buhari's administration has borrowed $2.02 billion as loans from China from 2015. According to statistics from the DMO, Nigeria's total debt from China as of June 30, 2015 stood at $1.38 billion. However, as of March 31, the country's debt profile from China had risen to $3.40 billion. Sometimes you hear this amount of money and you are bothered because the amounts just keep flying around, and it looks like we don't even understand the value of money anymore.
Yes, if you look at this Chinese loan, their concessional loan, the interest rate is not too much, 2.5%, with a tenure of about 20 years. If you put all of this together, it means that our economy is doing so badly. Of course, we agree that it may be absolutely inevitable for government to borrow. But what are we borrowing for? Most of the time, we also borrow for consumption. Let's look at a figure here. About 719 million US dollars has been used to service the Chinese loan since Buhari came on board. Over 700 million US dollars. So if you look at all of this, it's shrinking our economy. Don't forget, we are not even repaying this loan. There's a difference between debt servicing and debt repayment. Of course, I know officials from the Ministry of Finance will come and twist this information that no, we can still borrow. In terms of GDP ratio, it is still allowable. We are still within the threshold. As we speak now, we are migrating towards the avoidable threshold. A threshold that if care is not taken, it becomes very unsustainable. So the federal government has appetite for borrowing. Of course, we can borrow to fund critical infrastructure in the country, not just for capital project or elephant project. The truth is that when we borrow, we pump it into capital project that has the capacity to repay itself. We can't just continue like this. Of course, Ahmad Lawan, the chairman of the National Assembly, came up the other time and said that, oh, borrowing is becoming on the extreme. However, we just have to continue to borrow. Can't we look inward? Let us expand our revenue profile so as to be able to ensure that at the end of the day, we don't have to borrow for everything. Because as it is now, the last time the DMO brought out the debt profile of the country, it was around 32 trillion. That was as at December 31st, 2020. Between then and the first quarter, it is now within the region of over 33 trillion. That's the latest development. And there's a projection that before the Buhari administration comes to an end, we might likely get to the threshold of 38 trillion naira in terms of borrowing. For how long?
We use monies recovered, looted items recovered from looters. What do we use the monies for at the end of the day? Why do we have to borrow when we have stolen items or or looted items, criminally
And
diverted
properties.
items, properties that belong to us, still with maybe the EFCC and some of these anti-corruption agencies?
See, as a result of litigation, some of these funds are paid directly into the consolidated account held in trust by the CBN. If you also look at that, there's this high tendency under this administration for some of this recovered funds to be relooted. Okojo Iweala made that assertion sometimes ago as the Minister for Finance and also the coordinating Minister for the Economy, that funds that are recovered sometimes end up in private pocket, in the pockets of high-profile individuals within the government. Don't also forget, I think about 2 weeks ago, the Accountant General of the Federation was in the National Assembly with the Attorney General of the Federation. They couldn't reconcile the recovered loot account. I don't understand whether you get the point. They could not reconcile it. At one time, the Accountant General was saying something. There was a memo emanated from his office of a particular spending that was not appropriated for, and the Accountant General could not substantiate that particular spending. So that is how our money flies away. We must get value for money. If we recover fund, the purpose of recovery of this fund is to inject the fund back into the economy to ease the economy.
And that will reduce borrowing.
Yes, that will reduce borrowing. But now, the more we recover, the more we borrow, which means that part of the borrowing and part of the recovered load, they are also in the pocket of private individuals within the government. This was also one of the challenges Magu had with the Attorney General of the Federation, because the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, even the Attorney General himself, want to have unfettered access into some of this property and recover item by the federal government. And that was not the specification of the law.
How do you see the busting out of Bawa?
See, let's see Bawa. He said when in his inaugural speech, he made a promise that he was not going to engage in media war, that he's going to do underground investigation, intelligence, and what have you. Let us believe that that is what he's still doing. Me, I believe in proper and thorough investigation. Let us not hurriedly put people on trial, and at the end of the day, the cases are thrown out from the court like parts of card. Let us do diligent investigation. That is what is obtainable in advanced country. They don't just put you on trial. They can investigate you for 20 years. But when they take you before the court of law, you are rest assured that you are likely going to go to jail, because all the evidences have been garnered against you. But in Nigeria, we do like 10% investigation, take people to court, and the court is not a Father Christmas, and the court will throw the case off. So let's believe that Abdulrasheed Bawa will bring something new to the EFCC. It's not about noise making. Let him go on with his underground investigation, gather enough intelligence, and those that have looted the country must be brought to justice.
Right.
Diligent investigation and prosecution.
With 800 billion naira proposed as supplementary budget for defense, the military has no excuse not to decisively prosecute the war against insurgency and rid the country of all forms of criminality, Senate Committee on Army Chairman Ali Ndume said yesterday. We'll look at this story after this break.
iléeṣẹ́ Novesola wọ́n ní kí n sọ fún ọ pé tòjò tẹ̀rùn gbogbo àkókò ńlẹ̀ dá ádámà nílò náà yàtọ̀ sí náà dògán tá a fi ń sun bọ̀ọ̀lì lábà oko àgàgà yín náà sólà tó ń gbàgbára láti inú òrùn tó bá gbọ́ Novel sólà ní ó tẹ̀lé iléeṣẹ́ Novesola wọ́n ti wà ní sẹpẹ́ fún pèsè àwọn èròjà sólà lẹ́lẹ́kàǹkà inverter solar panels and batteries solar kit láti tanná láti charge battery gbọ́ rédíò kọrin jẹ̀gbádùn àti láti tanná ẹlẹ́yin bíi 2 sí 3 solar fan tó ń gbé fan láti tanná sùn dẹ́kun ẹ̀fọn amáranini ṣokùnfà àìsàn ibà solar floodlight fàyíká ilégbèé àtòpópónà 6005 Novesola ló mójútó solar.
Guy, wetin dey make you scatter house like this?
Abeg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry am give Sade yesterday o. But you no dey use am again na.
Yay! You don carry my bonus give landlord pikin. Na today you go pack out.
On top Airtel SIM?
Yes so if you don reach 15 days wey you never use your Airtel SIM, go find am now. Because why? Ogbonge awoof full on top o. Hey, get 2,000 naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 naira. The more you recharge, the more you awoof o. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions dey o.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Our oil sachet, 70 naira, only 70 naira. I said our oil sachet now, 70 naira, only 70 naira. Ogbonge cooking oil now, 70 naira, for a healthy family, 70 naira. Ogbonge cooking oil now, 70 naira, our oil sachet now, 70 naira.
Power oil for a healthy family.
Hey, why did you put it in the pot like that? You're supposed to break it first.
Says who? This is how I cook my pasta. Besides, it's golden penny pasta. It's non-sticky, so it doesn't matter.
But I want to cook it with meatballs mixed with pepper sauce and cheese.
Go ahead and enjoy your golden penny pasta just the way you want it. Golden penny pasta is made with durum wheat, which contains protein, and it's non-sticky, so you can cook, serve, and eat just the way you want it. With golden penny pasta, your way is best.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ̀ yìí ń kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́ ó ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 08168737222.
With Airtel Home Broadband device, your home is connected and you all can focus on the important things in life.
Enjoy the finer things in life in the Airtel HBB seasonal offer. Visit any certified Airtel shop to get a 4G MiFi at 9,999 naira plus up to 55 gigabyte bonus data, or router at 19,999 naira plus up to 160 gigabyte bonus data. Offer valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
32 FM
94.9.
Welcome back from that commercial break. 32 FM 94.9. It's still the Breakdown newspaper review, and we're still taking a look at headlines in the dailies this Tuesday morning. With 800 billion naira extra budget, no excuse for military, says Ndume. We took that story earlier. Now we get to the analysis of that. The defense. The Senate Committee on Army Chairman Ali Ndume said yesterday that with 800 billion naira proposed as supplementary budget for defense, the military has no excuse not to decisively prosecute the war against insurgency and rid the country of all forms of criminality.
Yes, the supplementary budget is necessary. Military funding, especially in recent time, is long overdue. Especially the fact that the late chief of army staff did say that it needs a lot of equipment in terms of military hardware to be able to prosecute the war. Any investment in security is not a waste. At the same time, too, Nigerians must get value for money. We have invested billions of naira in the security sector, but it looks like a mega enterprise for certain people to actually siphon the country's fund. A lot of people still believe that the late chief of army staff probably may have been killed. You know, sometimes before then he said he will ensure to look into the books of the Nigerian military before that unfortunate incident happened. So whichever way, let the military intensify effort. I'm also aware that any moment from next month we'll begin to get consignment from the United States. The Tucano fighter jet, yes, Super Tucano, will be arriving at that particular point in time. When we take delivery, these are game-changing equipment that can also help the Nigerian military to prosecute this war. Apart from the issue of buying equipment and funding too, we also need to look at the issue of personnel, because most of the time when we retake community from the control of this Boko Haram, we don't even have ground troop to be able to put on ground to be able to secure the place for a long time. Then there must be synergy too and unity of purpose in terms of coordination within the armed forces. The armed forces, I mean the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, especially in this war, because the Nigerian Navy is not directly involved because of the terrain in that area. A situation where the Air Force is supposed to provide support for the ground troop, and at the end of the day we have issue of accidental discharge, lack of coordinated response that will lead to fatality on the part of Nigerian troop. I think it is no longer acceptable. So we have to look at that critically, because this war, we can win this war. We have air power, superior air power. These people, they can only operate on the ground. They don't even have air power. So we should use the opportunity of that superiority in air power control to be able to dismantle them. So we must do everything, gather more intelligence. The rate at which our troops die as a result of ambushes is becoming too much. So these are all the areas. I'm trying to touch all these areas. It's not about supplementary budget alone. It's not about voting money alone. Because at the end of the day, if we don't do our due diligence, some of these equipment are carted away by this bad element against the state. So we must act fast.
How about the willingness on the part of these personnel themselves? If
Yeah.
they are not, if there are no if there's no encouragement for them.
We talk about the issue of morale. You understand? You need to boost their morale in terms of their allowances, look at their welfare and what have you. Then they don't have to also stay too long on the battlefield, because when they are battle fatigue, anything can happen.
Their mental health.
Yes,
in this
perhaps
case.
you read the story of a particular soldier that killed a very senior custom officer at Idiroko. He was newly deployed to the area from the Borno North after spending about 3 years there. They said they saw him acting strangely. You know, he's not used to that kind of environment. He's used to a place where guns are fired about almost 24 hours in a day. So he's used to seeing dead body being killed either on the part of his soldiers and what have you. So he suddenly came to Idiroko where he had to sit down. So they suspected him that his gun is always cocked. and they had to report him. Before they were able to do that, he had shot somebody and incidentally killed himself. I know you are familiar with that story. So these are areas we have to also work on. Then on the part of boosting their morale too, what has the Nigerian state done for those who have lost their life in line of duty? You know, we have a lot of widows as a result of this fight that we are fighting. What has the government done for them? Most of the time, we have their widows coming under the ages of late military officers' wives, and nothing is being done for them. So let the government look at the issue of welfare, because if your colleague die, for example, and you see the way he is treated, whether he's treated nicely or his family is treated badly, it will affect your psyche, that whether this cause is worth dying for or not. So let us address all the sundry issue, and at the end of the day, with commitment, we'll be able to defeat the insurgents.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. God bless you.
Amen.
This is GBEMISOLA from Ibadan. I will start by the Abacha's son's statement at the Kola Abiola, who said that this is not the democracy that Abiola stands for. Yes, that is the truth. There's nothing like democracy now under this current federal government. 2, some people said we need to rescue Nigeria from this present leadership and APC. That is very germane, and we should take it as a necessary thing to be done, because this government under General Buhari have not been able to address any of the issues, valid questions, protests, complaints, and agitations on ground, but instead they are making it to worsen by their actions. I mean, the situation of the country. So we need to rescue, because Nigeria is is seriously on the verge of being destroyed now. So it needs to be rescued. Then the issue that the government should deal with the criminal and whatever. You see, that cannot work now unless they change the attitude. Because what the federal government is doing to Nigerians also, it's also working. It's not good enough. So to deal with criminal will be difficult. They need to change. What they are doing is worse than the criminal. They need to change that. And on a final note, I pray that God will rescue Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Fagbemi. Hello, good morning.
Thank you, Benny and Tayo. Austin Idimu, thank you. Yes, I align myself with Mr. Fagbemi this morning. Fagbemi, may God bless you. Nigeria's democracy is a mere pretense, gradually being wheeled into the mortuary instead of being healed. Well, the point I'm going to this morning was that APC will go with you in 2023. PDP tells Buhari. And to be forewarned is to be forearmed. General Buhari said that APC will retain power in 2023 because of which the validation exercise is carried out. However, when a president with a military mentality speaks or threatens, his threat will not be taken for granted. ODG threatened that 2007 election will be a do or die affair. It ended so. And so General Buhari is going to achieve his aim using the mentality of the federal government, because the present statement is pregnant with a lot of meaning. Let me remind you that before 2019 presidential election, the Olusegun Obasanjo came out to say that his heartmen are working around the clock in cahoots with his security and the election officials to perfect their plan by computing results right from the world to local government, state and national level, to allot him what will look like a landslide victory. And it was a landslide victory of 4 million vote differences. Even in 2015, when there was regional ganged up against Jonathan, the difference was less than 3 million. John Njoko is my name. Thank you.
Thank you, John Njoko. Nigerians need leaders that can unite the country. Oshibajo.
Which means currently we are not having such leadership. I think it's becoming obvious.
He is also a part of the leadership.
Yes, you will say it's not the president. There's a lot of difference, a lot of gap between the president and the vice president.
Should it be that way?
Of course, no. The vice president or the deputy governor is just like a spare tire, which you make use of when your tire is flat or you have issue with your tire.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Adeshi Yamula from UI. On Bakassi, Augustine, you're not the one that I've been telling this one to now. You know what happened to you? Only God saved you. What is going on across the country now? I listed like 15 states this morning. Every state, they are all under siege. What happened at Igogo? I was watching a video yesterday. Some children now, they are running from that place to Ibadan. Members of the same family, twins are among them. They don't even know where they are in Ibadan now. They're scattered because their parents have been killed. So this Bakassi, whatever group they call them, if they are filling up just to protect us now, Augustine, let's embrace it. Forget these consequences until we have democratic government like the earlier callers have said. Now we don't have a democracy. Let's not team up together by 2003 and get democratic, someone that is a Democrat to lead this country. That's the only solution. That time, those Bakassi will find solution to them again. That's not the best of today.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's quickly go on another break. We'll be back to take more calls.
32
8
FM.
times 500 naira, 4,000 naira. 8 times 5,000. Hi!
I beg, where on they see this money?
Money care. Now the ogbonge bonus we they sama me as I buy new SIM card. See, then they give me double data subscription plus 8 times a woof anytime I recharge.
Oh boy, what's up for me now?
You know, say you fit buy SIM card now for any accredited Airtel shop, ba? Just go there with your NIN, just like that.
Sure guy.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Set to fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Set to fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. No darling with Santa Fresh. Santa Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Our oil sachet, 70 naira, only 70 naira. I said our oil sachet now, 70 naira, only 70 naira. Ogbonge cooking oil now, 70 naira. For a healthy family, 70 naira. Ogbonge cooking oil now, 70 naira. Our oil sachet now, 70 naira.
Power oil for a healthy family.
Hey, why did you put it in the pot like that? You're supposed to break it first.
Says who? This is how I cook my pasta. Besides, it's golden penny pasta. It's non-sticky, so it doesn't matter.
But I want to cook it with meatballs mixed with pepper sauce and cheese.
Go ahead and enjoy your golden penny pasta just the way you want it. Golden penny pasta is made with durum wheat, which contains protein, and it's non-sticky, so you can cook, serve, and eat just the way you want it. With golden penny pasta, your way is best.
káìsàn má ṣe wá kó má ṣe yẹn fún wa wò àmẹ́dá ò lè wà láìláì ṣe déédéé kan lágọ̀ọ́ ara ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ health consult global consult tó jalagbàtà fáwọn iléeṣẹ́ tó ń fèsò igi egbò igi àtẹwébẹ̀ pò oògùn nílẹ̀ yìí àti lókè òkun tó sì gbàṣẹ́ gbòǹtẹ̀ ìjọba fi ń pè wá láti wá fáyẹ̀wò ìmọ̀ràn àti ìtọ́ni níbi táwọn òdìní akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ ò ti mọ mọ̀rúfẹ́ ìlera tí ń bóni kálukú fínra àtògùn tá a lè lò kojú ẹ̀ ọgbà bẹ́ẹ̀ níléeṣẹ́ health consult oríṣiríṣi oògùn tó ti ní gbogbo èròjà tára nílò wà fún títà láti má gba ìsàn wọlé lágọ̀ọ́ ara tòró sàn ká dènà àìsàn ju ká mọ̀ wá wòsàn kiri lọ. ilẹ̀kùn iléeṣẹ́ wa wà ní ṣíṣí sílẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ monday títí di sátidé látago 8 àárọ̀ dago 6 àrọ̀lẹ̀. ọ̀pọ̀ àǹfààní ló wà ní iléeṣẹ́ health concern. kàn sí wa lálùkò shopping complex lẹ́gbẹ̀lẹ́ epo mrs nítòsí bishop phillips academy ìwó road ìbàdàn àti ní stanbic bank building niger west area challenge ìbàdàn 090 5000 4816 090 5000 4816 health concern global consult ìlera rẹ ṣe pàtàkì.
As a child, I already know what I will become. As a kid, I already know that I am a star. As young as I am, every child dream is valid with Adron Homes.
Yes, with Adron Homes Young Landlord product, every child can become a landlord today. Buy a plot of land for your child and enjoy up to 20, 40 or 50% discount with 6 to 36 months payment plan. That's not all. You get lots of free giveaways like school bags, provisions, free meal voucher at The Place Restaurant, Domino's or Chicken Republic, and many more freebies. For more inquiries, call these numbers
081 67552420 or 090 2047 5116.
Every child dream is valid with Adron Homes.
32 FM
94.9.
32 FM 94.9, 0809 7949, 0705 5949. Good morning to you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Tayo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Austin. God bless you. My name is Dr. Mark. I have a very big issue with this particular administration and all of their policies, especially this one about retracing back cattle routes. This is the reason why you are hearing that the Bakassi boys are coming back. And honestly speaking, if this will help secure our territories, I think I will support it. Because we do not have any option now other than to resort to self-help. If I have an administration where when people die are killed by some sort of persons called bandits, and the president talks and he's not even making, doing as if people died or anything happened. When what's happening is democracy speaks. I didn't hear the president talk about any of the killings, the recent killings even.
Right, thank you, Dr. Mark. Rotimi Adeosun, thank you. And Lanre Ladipo also, thank you on YouTube. He said, if the Bakassi boys and relevant or other, groups will help, we should allow them. But one thing we sure know also, Austin, is that there is no limit to the excesses of groups like this.
That's the issue. It must be properly checked. Of course, we need security seriously. We need to provide security for ourselves, but that also should be done with some exercise of control. When Bakassi boys came, they went out of the control of even state governments at that particular point in time. So if their coming will improve security, of course, it's a welcome development. But how sure are we that that will be achieved?
Hello, good morning.
Elijah Salah from Coca-Cola. Let me start from your conclusion on Bakassi boys. And Austin, are you listening to me? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. You said, you and Tayo and Baby said there will be no limit to the activities of these Bakassi boys. And I'm asking, what has been the limit of the killer herdsmen and banditry? When the government is turning a blind eye to their activities, just tell me any killer herdsmen that have been taken to court for prosecution since they started their killing and maiming. So you see, when the state actors refuse to do what they are supposed to do, what they are elected for, what they sworn to the constitution to do, that's what this is what kind of thing that will be happening.
All right, thank you very much, Alaji, for that contribution. Does Austin want to?
Yes, there is a bubeagu by the state government in the southeast. Whatever that can be done, either to inculcate the vigilante system into that, I think that is very okay. But Bakassi boys coming, let's hope we'll be able to manage the excesses at the end of the day. God bless Nigeria.
More than we were able, or we are currently able to manage the insecurity and the unknown gunmen. All right, thank you very much.
That's just a mockery of the federal government. They gave us the unknown soldier the other time. So these guys are also trying to mock the federal government by saying unknown gunmen. It's an unknown situation. Known yet unknown. Thank you, dear listener. I am OLUTAYO, OGUNADE.
And my name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI. Good morning.
Here is
the station admired by other radio stations. 32 FM 94.9.
What's up, my Nigerian Idol fans in the house? I'm sure you still can't get over the exciting